Good morning, everyone. My name is Brahmara S. from SJB College. I'm studying 4th year. Today, I'm going to explain the concepts which was covered in our internship program by construction finishers, which was trained by ER Suresh B. Ramaya sir. These are the contents which was covered in our internship program. First was flooring. In flooring, we learned which are the type of flooring, procedures for fixing flooring, materials used, and the quality control check for flooring material. And other was the masonry. Next was plastering. In plastering, we study types of plastering, methods of plastering, and quality control check for plastering. Yeah, so what is flooring? Flooring is the general term for a permanent covering of a floor or for the work of installing such a floor covering. See, these are the different types of floor: laminate wooden flooring, hard wooden flooring, stone flooring. In stone flooring, these are the like granite, marble, Italian, and the marble flooring. Tile flooring consider vitrified ceramic tile flooring, mosaic flooring, and paver block flooring. And these are the procedure to lay the wooden floor on the concrete surface. So first, before installing the wooden flooring, we have to check the moisture content of the slab using moisture meter, which should not be more than which should be between 4 to 5%, or which should not be more than 4 to 5%. Next, sweep the floor to remove all the dust and debris. The floor should be flat. It should not there should not be any undulations. If there are any undulations, it should be filled with the fillers. Cover the concrete surface by a plastic material which acts as a vapor barrier. Lay the foam sheet on the plastic if it is recommended. Not don't lay the sheet. Place the wooden flooring for 2 to 3 days for accumulation of the moisture. While installing the wooden floor, leave a gap of 1/4 inch for the expansion. And this is the image. See this. This is a concrete. This is a concrete surface. Top on the concrete surface, it is covered by a plastic layer, and onto that there is a wooden 3/4 treated wooden, and onto that there is a flooring, that is wooden flooring. So this is the procedure. This image will tell us that there's a process of installing the wooden floor, and this is the outlook where this is the finished one, where we can see the floor. There is a wooden flooring over here. And next is procedure for fixing tiles. So these are the procedure which is followed for the fixing of the tiles. First, it should be soaked for half an hour before the start of the work. Use cement mortar, that is 1:3 or 1:4 ratio for the base materials. Direction of tile or the arrow, it will be behind the tile or the granite or the marble. Cement slurry to be laid over the cement mortar area, and air pockets to be removed, placing tile in the position. Zero paper joint or the spacer can be used in the joint for the tile laying. Tile tapping to be done with wooden hammer to avoid damages to the tile. It should be this tile tapping should be done slowly in order to avoid any breakages or any breakages. There are types of stoning used in the types of stone which are used in flooring. First, this image represents the granite flooring. This one marble, and this is the Italian marble, which is mostly preferred nowadays. And next is this is ceramic tiles. This is mosaic, and this is paver block. Paver block is usually preferred outside the buildings. Next, we'll learn about masonry. Masonry is a bricks or the piece of stone which have been stuck together with the cement as a part of the wall or a building. So this is the image of the masonry. Types of masonries are brick masonry, solid block masonry, lightweight fly ash brick masonry, composite masonry walls, ashlar fine masonry wall, granite masonry wall. So this is the description of the brick masonry. Brick masonry is highly durable form of construction. It is built by placing bricks in a mortar in a schematic manner to construct solid mass that withstand exerted loads. There are several types of bricks and the number of mortars which can be used in the brick masonry. See, this types of brick masonry are brick masonry work in the mud, brick masonry work in the cement. These are the images. The brick masonry work in mud is not in a systematic manner, But brick cement work is a systematic manner, and and nowadays this one is usually preferred if they are using brick in the masonry wall. And solid block masonry, so solid concrete block are not necessarily solid. They are merely less hollow than the block that are normally called hollow. This is the hollow. There is a 3 hollow here. Solid blocks have core hole that can take up to less than 25% of the cross-sectional area of the block. So this one is the solid block solid block. And next is the fly ash brick masonry. Fly ash brick are manufacturing using fly ash and water. Fly ash brick are lightweight and thus it reduces self-weight of the structure. The advantages of the fly ash brick over the clay bricks are that they have high fire insulation, high strength, uniform sizes for the better joints and plaster, lower water penetration, does not require soaking before use in the masonry construction. So it is more there is more advantages by using fly ash brick masonry. And next one is the plastering. So what is plastering? It is a process of covering rough walls and uneven surface in the construction of the houses and other structure with a plastic material called plaster, which is a mixture of lime or cement, concrete and sand along with the required quantity of the water. So what is plaster? A mixture of the lime or the gypsum, sand and water, sometimes with the fiber added, that hardens to a smooth solid and is used for the coating walls and the ceiling. Initially plaster, it is a mixture of the lime, sand and water. Sometimes we use fiber in order to increase some strength or something. Next is the plastering material. Plastering material are usually ordinary Portland cement, lime or the clay, aggregates, water and admixtures. So method of plastering. The plaster may be applied in one or more coat, but the thickness of a single coat should not exceed 12 mm. In case of the inferior or cheaper type of the construction, the plaster may usually be one coat. For ordinary type of construction, the plaster is usually applied in 2 coats, whereas for superior type of work, it is applied in 3 coats. The final setting coat should not be applied until the previous coat is almost dry. The previous surface should be scratched or roughened before they apply in the next coat of the plaster. It should be scratched. In plastering, the plaster mix is either applied by throwing it with a great force against the wall or by pressing it on the surface. So these are the properties of the good plaster. It should be hard and durable. It should be possible to apply it in all weathered condition. It should adhere to the background and should remain adhered during all climatic conditions. It should be cheap and economical. It should offer good insulation against sound and high resistance against fire. It should effectively check the penetration of the moisture from the surfaces. And these are the 4 types of plaster: lime plaster, cement plaster, mud plaster and stucco plaster. So these are the images: lime plaster, this is the cement plaster, this is the mud plaster which was usually used in the earlier days, and this is the stucco plaster which we use nowadays and which is mostly recommended. And at last, the quality control check for the plastering. Mortar mix should be homogeneous with the approved proportions. Volumetric box should be used for all cement mortar proportions. Cement used, it should not be more than 60 days old. Also, we should see the manufacturing date on the cement bag. Silt content of the sand should not be more than 6 to 8%. Thickness of the plastering should be maintained as per the design specified by the architects. Surface level should be uniform without any undulations. Joint patches should be given overlapping to avoid the seepage of the water. Curing to be done with curing register for 10 days. Curing should be done for 10 days. There should not be any aircraft after curing period. Hacking hammer test should be done for the stability of the plastering. Process of sealing plaster to be maintained with the higher proportion of the cement mortar. So these are the concepts which was covered in our internship program, and we learned a lot during this internship program. Thank you, Prayojna, for giving such a knowledge on this concepts. Thank you so much.